Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Fate Stay Night. Honestly, I don't really have a ton to say. I just want to jump back into it. I'm really enjoying the game so far, so let's just jump right back into it. Also, for anyone who's played Fate, do you have any clue how to fix that crackling noise? I'm using, I think, the Ultimate Edition patch, and like a lot of the features work really well, but that one, the crackling is just annoying. Oh, inner monologue. I'm gonna try reading these out once or twice. See how I feel about doing it. Alright. The Holy Grail War. It is a great ritual which has been practiced for hundreds of years. If one enters the ritual, one must eliminate the other six, as it is a battle for one's life. Okay. It is said that the Holy Grail is in the land of Fuyuki, and that many magi have fought each other here in the past. They had only one purpose, to obtain the noble phantasm called the Holy Grail. But the origin of the Holy Grail is unknown. It's certain that it never received the blood of God, but its power matches that of the one in the legend. Yes, it is said that the Holy Grail can grant any wish. Only one has the right to possess it. The Holy Grail can only grant one wish for one person, but 7 magi are needed to summon the Holy Grail in this land. 1 miracle, 7 collaborators. Well, the point is, it was only a matter of time before a fight broke out over the Holy Grail. It began like an ordinary fight over resources. The 7 magi used the power of the Holy Grail equally to each summon a familiar, a servant, to battle the other magi. Only one magus will obtain the Holy Grail, and so each of them treated the other 6, once allies, now as enemies, and a gruesome fight began. This is the ritual called the Holy Grail War, a competition between magi for the Holy Grail. The magi chosen by the Holy Grail are called masters, and each master receives a powerful familiar called a servant by the grace of the Holy Grail. There are 2 proofs that one is a master: summoning a servant and making it obey, and obtaining the 3 command spells that can order the servant. The first goes without saying. Yesterday, no, a few hours ago to be exact, I summoned Archer to be my servant. That leaves only the second. I must protect to the end this command spell that binds the servant. For a master, this is probably the most important thing of all. The pattern inscribed on my right hand after summoning Archer, this is the command spell. The holy sign, granted by the Holy Grail, is the proof of a master who has summoned a servant. This mark with concentrated magical energy is an instantaneous thing, not an eternal one. It is consumed by use, and as the appearance suggests, it has 1 use for each strike. In other words, only 3 times. A master who loses all 3 of their command spells will be unable to control their servant and faces death. So, the command spell must be guarded as closely as one's life. It hurts my head to think that I've used one right at the start, but it wasn't completely meaningless, so I'll call it good. Because it's not unusual for servants to go against their masters. I'm fortunate to have been able to chain him using 1 command spell. Well, that's the gist of it. Holy Grail War will start when the 7 servants are all summoned. I can't just sleep in. I don't know when the last master will appear, but it should be soon. Okay. I see. Okay. So, I mean, that's kind of the information we knew, but we now understand why people are fighting for the Holy Grail. It's because it can grant any wish for one person. 1 wish for 1 person, and it takes 7 people to obtain it. Like 7 masters draw from its power and fight over it to even like make it appear. So, okay. Interesting. Good little bit of extra knowledge. Yeah, you're pretty late. You might have missed school.
体が重い。半分以上持ってかれたみたいね、これは。
Yikes.
そうだった。私セイバーじゃなくってアーチャーを呼び出したんだ。
I feel like I should probably read these. It doesn't. Not only the extended monologues, I don't have a problem reading them. I can remember clearly. Well, it's not something I want to remember, but even if I don't like it, there's no second chance.
魔力が戻るまで1日ちょいか。今日は鳴らし運転ってことにしよう。
Do I like reading the inner thoughts? I don't know. I slowly climb out of bed. I fight a bit against the unseasonably warm air and my desire to stay wrapped up in my blanket. I knock out the desire to go back to sleep in the 3rd second of the match and check myself in the mirror. Wait, what? The 3rd second of the match? Nothing's obviously wrong, except for the fact that I have only about half the usual magical energy in my body. Everything's up to par.
まあ、問題なんてあるわけないけど。
For now, I want to check the situation. The servant I summoned is Archer. He's a rude guy with no manners to spare for his summoner and master. And on top of that, he doesn't know who he is. Oh, I'm getting a headache
あ
already.
いつの記憶が戻るまで切り札は封印か。思い出せないんじゃ使いようがないしね。
Servants are powerful familiars on their own, but what makes them the most powerful is the fact that they all have one powerful secret move. The problem is, Archer says he can't remember what it is.
まあ、火はこっちにもあるし、なんとかやっていくしかないか。
Yeah, that's still a bit of a problem though. That's right, as this is how things ended up, we're both on the same boat. I hope he sorts out his memory soon, but with the way he's acting right now, who knows when that'll be. Honestly, looks like we've got a load of problems ahead.
あ、見直したかもこれ。
Worked a miracle in that living room. The living room is just the way it was. I only expected him to clear up the rubble, so I'm moved that he went this far. He must have felt bad about making such a mess of the living room, or he wouldn't have done this. I should call him admirable, or maybe just a nice guy.
日はとっくに昇っているぞ。また、随分とだらしがないんだな、君は。
And he comes and immediately insults you. I take it back. This shameless attitude. He doesn't deserve any praise at all.
おはよう。そういうあんたは随分とリラックスしてるようね。今を好き勝手使ってくれちゃってさ。
何？一晩過ごした部屋だからな。どこに何があるか把握したよ。おう。ついでだから厨房も片付けておいた。もう少し荒れているかと思ったが、なかなか気の行き届いた厨房だ。一人暮らしの洋館にしては上等だな。
I'm getting a headache. Why is my servant checking my cleanliness? They say servants think only of battles, so maybe this guy's broken somehow.
なるほど。本調子ではなさそうだな。昨夜は元気だったが、睡眠をとって疲れが出たのだろう。紅茶でよければご馳走しよ
う。Then give me a drink too. So at home in a stranger's house, Archer stands, takes out a new teacup without a moment's confusion, and pours a fine rose-colored tea. There are all sorts of things I want to say, but I surprisingly don't feel like interrupting him. Every aspect of his motion is refined, and you could say he is being considerate.
まあいいけど、疲れてるのは事実だし、飲む。
Take a seat. He hands me the teacup silently, and I take a sip. Oh, it's good. Of course, it's an exotic Chinese tea. It's the best part of my favorite leaf, so I'd get mad if it tasted bad. In fact, I get mad when someone uses one of my favorites without permission. Yes. I would get mad, but when it's brewed so wonderfully, I'm too happy to complain. Bro knows what he did.
ちょっと、何笑ってるのよ、あんた。
He's like, yeah, I'm the best.
何、感想が聞きたかったが、その顔では聞くまでもないと思っただけだ。
Yeah, he knows. Slam the cup down onto the table.
もったいない。熱いうちに味わった方がいいぞ。私が気に障るなら消えているが。
ごちそうさま。結構よ。私は茶坊主が欲しくてマスターになったわけじゃないわ。あなたもね、頼みもしないことをする必要はないわよ。
そうか。確かに私も茶坊主になったり後片付けをするために契約したわけではない。君がそういうのならばこれからは気をつけよ
ええ、私が求めているのは戦力としての使い魔よ。家事をこなすサーバントなんて聞いたことがないし、する必要も特にないわ。
う。特にはないとはどういう意味かな。
別に好きなようにとって結構よ。それより、あなた自分の正体を思い出せた？
Archer shakes his head. Just as I thought, it's bad. If you can't remember it after one night, it's not going to come back easily. Even if we test various things today, this is still...
わかった。あなたの記憶に関してはおいおい対策を考えとく。じゃあ出かける支度をして、ハーチャー。召喚されたばかりで勝手もわからないでしょ。街を案内してあげるから。
出かける支度？いや、そんな必要はないだろう。出るのならばすぐに出られるが。
Okay, man said I'm always ready.
あのね、そんな格好で出歩くつもり？どう見ても普通じゃないし、他のマスターが見たら一発でサーバントってわかるじゃない。
That's true.
私、自分から私はマスターですなんて言いふらす気はないんだけど。
ああ、そういうことか。それも問題はない。確かに着替える必要はあるが、それは実体化している時だけでね。
Wait, what?
サーバントはもともと霊体だ。非戦闘時には霊体になってマスターにかける負担を減らす。
Oh.
ああ、そっか。召喚されたって英霊は英霊だものね。霊体に肉体を与えるのはマスターの魔力なんだから、私が魔力提供をカットすれば。
So what, we can just, like, vanish him for a
自
second?
然。我々も霊体に戻る。
And just vanish him for a
そうな
while?
ったサーバントは守護霊のようなものだ。レイラインでつながっているマスター以外には観測されない。もっとも会話程度はできるから偵察ならば支障はないが。
わ、便利。
That is
そ
very
れじゃあ
convenient.
本当に他のマスターを探し出すなんて難しいんだ。
That is very convenient.
ああ。だが魔術師は魔術師を知覚できるだろう。それと同じでサーバントもサーバントを感知できる。優れた魔術を知るサーバントならば遠く離れたサーバントの位置さえ把握するだろ
Just as Archer says, a master is usually a great magus. A magus with a strong magical energy is sensitive to other magical energy. But as far as I know, no one in this town has magical energy that strong.
ふーん。で、あんたはどうなの？他のサーバントの位置わかる？
う。マスター、私のクラスは何か忘れたのか？遠く離れた敵の位置を探るなど騎士上がりにできるものか？
Well, I guess not. Archer's magical energy isn't that strong. I expect only the servant caster would have enough magical energy to locate enemies from a distance.
わかったわ。じゃあとりあえず後についてきて、ハーチャー。あなたの呼び出された世界を見せてあげるから。
Hold on. Only the servant caster. Okay, so yeah, it is literally just classes. Got archer, saber, caster. I don't know what the other ones would be. You'd probably guess it's probably like a berserker or something. Other than that, I don't know.
そう目新しいものではなさそうだがね。それよりマスター、君、大切なことを忘れていないか？
I don't know, are we?
え？大切なことって何？
まったく。君、まだ本調子ではないぞ。契約において最も重要な交換を私たちは未だしていない。
That is.
契約において最も重要な交換。
Equivalent exchange? No, fundamentally, the reward for the servant is to participate in the Holy Grail War. There shouldn't be any more exchanges necessary.
君な。朝は弱いんだな、本当に。
Guess not. I'm not either. Archer says so in surprise. Listening to sarcastic comment, I realized something. Come to think of it, he hasn't addressed me by name yet.
ああ、しまった。名前。
Yeah, names tend to help.
思い当たったか。まあ、今からでも遅くはないさ。それでマスター、君の名前は？これからは何と呼べばいい？
Damn it. He's a good person. Yes, there's no mistake. After all, there's no meaning to exchanging names. Servant and master have a relationship forced upon them by the command spell. For a contract with a normal familiar, the exchange of names has a great deal of meaning, but no such bond is needed between the master and the servant. But still, Archer calls it important. It's proof of trust that we shall be fighting alongside each other, even without the command spell.
私、遠坂凛よ。あなたの好きなように呼んでいいわ。
I answered bluntly, unable to be true to my feelings. Well, actually, it would probably be easier for me to be addressed in a reserved manner like you or master, and he'll probably call me that. But that said, Archer mutters my name to himself.
それでは、リンと。ああ。この響きは、実に君に似合っている。
Psyche thought he was calling you master. He says something outrageous.
リン、どうした？何やら顔色がおかしいが。
うるさい。いいからさっさと行くわよ、あーちゃん。とにかくのんびりしてる暇なんてないんだから。
I turn away and start walking. I'm vexed. I don't know why, but I am. Did Archer say that just to make me feel this way?
ありえる。こいつなら絶対そうだ。
Yes, that must be it. So my face getting hot and my heart pounding, they're all part of his plan. Be careful, Rin. You're gonna have to work with this crooked guy from now on. What? Wow. Yeah, he definitely drew that one up. I go out with Archer. The city we live in, Fuyuki City, can be basically divided into two towns. Here, the place with old houses and traditional buildings is Miyama City. On the other side of the river is Shinto? Isn't that literally the name of their religion? Or like the old Japanese religion? Hold on. Yeah, it is. On the other side of the river is Shinto, where modern development is happening. My house is in the older section, Miyama City. Miyama City is broadly separated into two sections as well. This is one of the sections, the Western-style houses, where immigrants from foreign countries live. And on the other side is the area of old Japanese-style houses, with a mountain behind it. Both sections are on top of hills, so you could say both are suburbs. The houses in between these two sections are relatively ordinary. As a demonstration, they're this ordinary. This is the crossroads of Miyama City and the hill leading up to the Western-style houses like mine. On the opposite side, a hill leads up to the Japanese-style houses. A bridge leads to the neighboring town of Shinto, and the other way leads to the school, shopping district, and even Ryudo Temple up on the mountain. And this is the large bridge connecting Shinto and Miyama City. A few years ago, a big station was built over that side, and it has grown rapidly since then. Even though Miyama City and Shinto are in the same city, you can think of them as totally different places. Got it. The city's name, Fuyuki, or Winter Tree, supposedly comes from the fact that winters are long here. Thinking about it, this place certainly has a long winter. In contrast though, it's quite warm here, and February here is about as warm as December everywhere else. I bet a few hot springs would turn up if you went digging around. Then again, this half-hearted cold would make the city a poor hot springs resort. Fuyuki City has a friendly winter and a strange climate that enters spring and April with no changes. Shinto is all like this. The rapidly developing town started to build tall buildings as if rushed by something, and as a result it looks very artificial. Though, that's only the last 10 years. From what I hear, the big fire here 10 years ago pretty much burned down the whole residential district. 10 years ago? Isn't that when the last Holy Grail War was? Isn't that when Rin's dad went and fought that Holy Grail War and died? I'm just saying. I feel like that's connected. Come on. That's the kind of detail you put in there to foreshadow. Just saying. I could be wrong. Just seems too coincidental. And I was actually looking specifically for something like this. Something big that happened 10 years ago. These buildings were constructed on the land no one lived on anymore. And this is the center of it.
ここが信徒の公園よ。これで主だったところは歩いて回ったわけだけど、感想は？
I ask Archer, who is standing next to me. I can't see him, of course.
広い公園だ。だというのに人気がないのは何か理由でもあるのか？
Good question.
やっぱりそう見える？まあ、ここはちょっとした曰くがあるから。
I look around the park. A park this big and organized should be a playground for kids, even on weekdays. There are only a few people here, and a desolate feeling runs through the place.
10年前の話よ。この辺り一帯で大きな火事があったんだって。火は一日燃え続けて、雨が降り出した頃に消えたんだとか。その後町は復興したけど、ここだけはそのままなの。焼け野原になって何もなくなったから公園にしたらしいわ。
Archer says nothing. But even though I can't see him, I can tell that he's feeling something special.
気づいたみたいね。そうよ。ここが前回の聖杯戦争決着の地。私も事情は知らないけど、前回の聖杯戦争はここで終結してそれきり。
I mean, I'm just saying, but I'm a genius. Okay, that's a stretch. I am pretty good at noticing foreshadowing like that, though. Or picking up on stuff like that. Or I'd like to think so. I was pretty good at it in Steins Gate, at least.
なるほど。それでこんなにもここは怨念に満ちているというわけか。
わかるの？そういうの。
Really?
サーバントというのは霊体だ。そのあり方は怨念、妄執に近い。故に同じ無念には敏感なのさ。街中でも濃い場所はあるが、ここは別格だ。我らから見れば固有結界のそれに近い。
A reality marble. Archer brings up an unusual term in a motionless voice. Reality marble. One of the magics considered the pinnacle of magi, said to be infinitely close to sorcery. For hundreds of years, a boundary field has been the defensive field that protects a magus. Put simply, it's a vicious version of a security system on a house. A boundary field is something applied to an existing area or building to protect oneself from outside enemies, so I'd assume that's what she puts on her house. But it is merely a transformation applied to what already exists. But a reality marble is different. Reality marble is an image that erodes reality. The imagined world of a magus, a boundary field that paints over reality by letting a magus's heart take form. That is what we call a reality marble. I think I kinda get it. Let's see what else I have to say. In other words, it's a large-ranged magic that distorts, no, remakes the world as the magus wishes. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. That seems very, very powerful.
どうした？
ちょっと意外だったから。固有結界だなんて、アーチャーのくせに珍しい言葉を知ってるなって。
なんだ、知っていてはおかしいか？
だってそうじゃない。固有結界っていうのは魔術師にとっては禁忌中の禁忌、奥義の中の奥義だもの。アーチャーであるあなたが知ってるなんて筋違いよ。
Could that be some kind of hint as to his background, or? And then I sense him sighing heavily next to me.
リン、英雄とは剣術、魔術に長けたものを指す。アーチャーだからといって弓しか使えないと思うのは勝手だが、私以外のサーバントにそんな楽観は持たないでくれ。
Okay, good to know. Come to think of it, he's right.
わかったわよ。今のは軽率な発言だったわ。次からは気をつけるからこれでいいでしょ。
リン、ズバリ言おう。君は優秀だが、それゆえに他人を過小評価する欠点がある。
Yeah.
成人するまでには強制したまえ。
You should probably reform that habit before it gets you killed in the Holy Grail War.
何気に失礼なこと言うわね、あんた。
He's just telling the truth. Excuse me. Reform? That's like training bad habits out of a horse.
いや、失礼。別にリンがジャジャ馬だと言ったわけではない。単にイメージ通りの表現を使っただけというか。
なおさら悪いわ。
My right arm suddenly hurts.
ちょっと黙って、あーちゃん。
Think there's another magus here? The command spell engraved on my right hand is hurting. A small warning as if to get my attention.
誰かに見られてる。
Oh lord. I extend my consciousness to the surroundings. I roll out the threads of my consciousness and search through the park. Wait, what?
私じゃ見つけられない。あーちゃん、あなたは？
難しいな。私には視線すら感じられん。
ってことは、見てるのはマスターね。
I don't know who it is, but if Archer can't sense it, it has to be a master. There aren't 7 of us yet, but if we wanted to, we could start the fight at any time. Seems the one watching us wants to battle, but...
霊樹は霊樹に反応する。マスターであるのなら、誰がマスターであるかは出会えば感じられるということか。だが、それならリンにも相手が識別できるのではないか。
Okay, so the command spells react to each other, so it's not hard to find the other masters, right? Like, it's not like literally like 1 in a billion, you don't know who you're looking for, right? Like, you get close to them, you found them.
ええ。けど、高位の術者なら自分の魔力ぐらい隠し通せる。いくら霊樹同士が反応するって言っても、その霊樹だって魔力で発動するものよ。
Okay, so a really good
大元である
magus.
マスター自身が魔術回路を閉じていれば見つけることは難しいわ。
So a really good magus can just hide their energy, actually. But a not so good one can be found pretty easily, probably eliminated.
厄介だな。では、こちらはいいように位置を知らせているということか。
He might need to hide that.
でしょうね。まあ、私だって家探しすれば魔力殺しぐらいは見つかるだろうけど。
必要ないと？
そう。だって隠さなければ向こうからやってきてくれるでしょ。こっちから出向く手間が省けるわ。
Oh, jeez. That's... Whew. That's brutal. That's very careless, too. Archer takes a deep breath and goes quiet as if he's shocked.
何よ。自信過剰はいけないって言いたいの？
Correct. I ask, remembering our previous conversation. But Archer just says, that's
君
impossible.
はそのままが一番強い。はあ、小物には付きまとわせてやるがよかろう。
He says, trying to hold back his laughter. Jeez. Greasy. Well, it's not like I like his response, but we decide to continue walking around town. We tour the important places, really dragging our observer around, have dinner along the way, and bring things to a conclusion. We've been walking a lot, and now it's now 7. At this time of the night, our destination should give us the best view. A strong wind, the tallest building in Shinto. The view from the rooftop of this building is a fitting end for this day.
どう？ここなら見通しがいいでしょ、あーちゃん。
はあ、 将来君と付き合う男に同情するね。よくもまあここまで好き勝手連れ回してくれたものだ。
That's rough.
何か言ったあーちゃん。
素直な感想を少しと。確かにいい場所だ。初めからここに来れば歩き回る必要もなかったのだが。
何言ってるのよ。確かに見晴らしはいいけど、ここからわかるのは街の前景だけじゃない。実際にその場に行かないと街の作りはわからないわ。
I mean, that's true to
そ
an
うでも
extent.
ないが、
But oh,
アー
that's
チャー
true
のクラス
actually.
は伊達ではないぞ。旧兵は目が良くなければ務まらん。
He is an archer. That would have made sense actually.
そうなの？それじゃあここから家が見える？あーちゃん。
いや、さすがに隣町までは見えない。せいぜい橋あたりまでだな。そこまでならタイルの数ぐらいは見て取れる。
What? That's absurd.
嘘。タイルって橋のタイル？
Yeah.
びっくり。アーチャーって本当にアーチャーなんだ。
I mean, yeah.
リン、まさかとは思うが、君、私をバカにしているんじゃないだろうな。
そんなわけないでしょ。たださ、あなたってアーチャーって言われには弓使いっぽくないから、つい勘違いしてただけ。
Fair.
それは問題発言だ。帰ってから追求しよう。
He seems more like a butler right now. It seems Archer has taken a liking to the view as he falls silent. He's probably working on the working out the town's layout. I can't interrupt while he's surveying the battlefield. I leave Archer's side and move to the edge of the building. All I can see with my eyesight is the lights below this building, like the headlights of the cars in the street and the people going home after work. I can't tell what kind of cars or what kinds of people they are. I can see them, but still not see them. Just like noticing someone is watching me before, but not being able to see the watcher.
少なくとも信徒を根城にしている奴が一人いる。
I strain my eyes and stare below me. There are 7 masters in all. I still don't know who the masters are, nor which servants they command. Right now, I assume all the masters are walking around town collecting information on other masters. Suddenly, I feel someone's eyes on me. There's no reaction from my command spell. I just feel someone's eyes on me. I look down. There are many people walking on the road. Among them is a person. One person is looking up at me as if looking up at the moon. I can't tell for sure who it is. I can't tell for sure, but I still know who it is. It's surprising. What's he doing at this kind of a time?
リン、敵を見つけたのか？
Archer calls out to me as if sensing my excitement.
別に。ただの知り合い。私たちには関係のない一般人よ。
No, they probably have everything to do with you. I answer, unable to hide my irritation, and leave the place where I was standing. There's no way he could have seen me from the ground. He must have been looking up at the building by coincidence. So it doesn't mean I was noticed. But still, I'm angry that I let him see me acting as a magus. Who was it? By the time we get back to Miyama City, it's already past 9 o'clock. Unlike Shinto, Miyama City is an old residential district. No one walks around after 9, and the town grows as quiet as midnight.
こんなところね。街の作りは大体わかった？
ん？ああ、町のことならわかる。
なら今日はここまでね。私もまだ本調子じゃないし、家に戻って休みましょう。
Hey, y'all just had a long day on the town. Archer was not kidding, man. Y'all went from what, 9 to 9? Y'all were out exploring for like 12 hours? Jesus, man. And all you really had to do was bring Archer to a skyscraper. Or something. Could have seen the whole town. We climb the road up the gentle hill. And there's someone walking in front of us.
あれ、さくら？
This is bad. I don't want to see her right now. Uh-oh.
リン、何を隠れている？
黙ってて。うん。あそこにいるの知り合いなのよ。今日は学校休んだし、あんまり顔を合わせたくないの。
Shows that could be problematic. As I speak, I look at the figure ahead of us. On the road, there's the well-known first-year student, and a foreigner I don't know. They are talking about something. No, it seems the foreigner is talking to Sakura against her wishes.
リン、知り合いとは外国人の方か？
Nope.
いいえ、知らない。この辺りは洋館が多いから、どっかよそから遊びに来てるんじゃない？
I say that much, then scold myself for being too soft where that girl is involved.
あ、じゃあ、あいつ人間？
さあ、実態はあるから人間なのだろう。少なくともサーバントではない。
そうよね。マスターでもないし、ただの血は喧嘩か。
Still, I know she's not the kind of girl to get into trouble with a guy.
二人とも言ったな。女は坂を登っていく。男は。
The blonde guy goes down the road we came up. Okay, that's gotta be
そ
foreshadowing
れじ
for
ゃああなた
something.
はここを使って。私はもう眠るけど、何か質問はある？
I definitely need to remember that. There's no way that wasn't important somehow.
とりわけ重要な疑問はない。すぐに戦闘を仕掛けない君の判断は正しいよ。今夜は魔力の回復を行うべきだろう。
Seems like a good idea.
それじゃあ明日、今朝の紅茶をよろしくね。
What happened to you didn't need someone doing work around the house? Fatigue hits me hard once I walk into my room.
そうだ。眠る前にきれいに連絡しないと。
That annoying priest. I'll already be getting ready to call in the substitute magus. I don't really care about that, but he is my guardian, so I should at least do the right thing.
電話と。
I dial the number, and soon the fake priest picks up.
きれい？私だけど、昨日サーバントと契約したから、正式にマスター登録お願い。
A brief silence. Cure's silence has enough pressure to stress you out over the phone.
いいだろう。ではどうする？一度こちらに顔を出さないか。君のご両親から預かっているものもある。君がマスターになった場合にのみ、成人前に伝えてほしいと頼まれているのだが。
Okay. Which she did. I don't know what it could be. Is it some kind of artifact, or is it just like a letter or something?
ああ、
Oh.
それって父さんの遺言のこと？それならもう解読して手に入れたからいいわ。それじゃ気が向いたらお邪魔するからよろしく。
待てリン。マスターになったのなら。
She about to hang up the phone. Yeah, that's kind of greasy. I hang up, not hearing him out. Listening to Cure's lecture while I'm tired won't help me recover my magical energy.
さて、これで準備は終わりっと。
All that's left is to sleep. When I wake up next, it should be a completely different morning. 10 years ago, the Holy Grail War, in which my father competed as a master and was defeated. Now I'm entering the same battle. Yikes. That's a bit scary, I gotta be honest. I'm in that spot. Gun save. Not wrapping the episode up here, but can't hurt to save. The day was a little shorter. So, after breakfast, I clearly explained my immediate plans.
何？学校に行くだと？
ええ、何か問題あるかしら、あっちゃん。
問題はないが、しかし、それは。
Do you think it's too risky or something? Archer hesitates, but does not object. You must have realized yesterday that I'm not the type to take back my decisions. Whoops. I can kind of tell without him saying so. Archer is sarcastic, but he has an honest side to him, so it seems he won't complain about something he's accepted. Yes, in other words, he's faithful in an awkward way. This is my conclusion. No, more of an intuition after watching Archer for all of yesterday.
リム、マスターになったからには常に敵マスターを警戒しなくてはならない。学校という場は不意の襲撃に備えにくい場所だろ。
That's true.
そんなことはないけどね。いいあっちゃん、私はマスターになったからって今までの生活を変える気はないわ。それにマスター同士の戦いは人目を避けるものでしょ。それなら人目につく学校にいれば不意打ちされることはまずないと思うけど。
I mean, possibly, but
そうか。リンがそう決めたのなら私は従うだけだ。
it's a bit risky, but
だが霊体化して君の護衛をするぐらいはいいのだろうな。まさか学校に行っている間はここに残れ
I'd
など
hope
とは
not.
言うまい。
That seems unnecessarily risky.
当たり前じゃない。学校に限らず外に出るときはそばにいてもらうからね。マスターを守るのもサーバントの役割なんだから頼りにしてるわ。
それを聞いて安心した。信頼に応えるのは騎士の務め。せいぜい期待に沿うとしよ
Alright.
う。だがリン、もしもの話だが、その安全な場所に敵がいたとしたらどうする？
It's a good question.
何？学校にマスターがいるかもしれないって仮定？
It could be.
そうだ。確かに学び屋には生徒と教師以外は入りにくいが、すでに内部の者がマスターだとしたら厄介ではないのか？
Yeah, that would create some problems.
それはないんじゃないかな。この町には魔術師の家系は遠坂とあと一つしかないの。そのあと一つっていう家系は落ちぶれてるし、マスターにもなってないし。
Only one that you know of.
マスターになっていないと。
あのね、
Oops.
うち以外に魔術師の家系がいるんなら真っ先に確かめるのは当然でしょ。そいつマスターにはなってなかったし、あっちの家系の後継者にはマスターになるだけの魔力がないから無視して構わないわ。
そうか。つまりリンの通う学校にはもう一人魔術師がいるのだな。だがマスターになれるほどの魔力を持ち合わせていないと。
Who's the Magus? Is it someone we know?
そういうこと。だから他のマスターは外からやってくる連中が大半のはず。そんな連中が学校にまでやってくることはないでしょう。
You know, despite staring at that thumbnail for way too long yesterday, I don't remember what the other dude looked like. Or like the guy with, who seemed to have summoned the girl in, like the blue armor. I don't know what he looked like, so I don't know if it's somebody we recognize or not. And also, if they're all in different locations, do they just kind of meet at like one central location and it's here? Or are they gonna like travel across the world or the country or something? I don't know.
まあ今の段階ではな。だがリン、何事にも例外は存在する。もし学校に
Yeah,
君が知らない魔術師がいたとしたら
exactly.
だからいないってば。魔術師っていうのは他の同業に敏感なの。1年も同じ学校にいたらね、どんなに隠してても魔術師の存在は感じ取れる。断言するけど、うちの学校に魔術師は2人しかいないわ。そのうちの1人が私で、もう1人はマスターになるだけの力がない魔術師見習いなの。
The fact that you're saying this with so much certainty makes me almost positive there is another Magus there.
わかった？アーチャーの用心はただの杞憂よ。そんなこと絶対にありえないんだから。
だからもしもの話だ。物事には常に裏目が存在する。
Yeah, it's better safe than sorry, especially in a war to the death.
本来ありえざることが起こるのもまた運命だ。もしそういった事態になった場合、私に八つ当たりをするのだけは思いとどまってほしいと言っているのだ。
Archer smiles dryly. Just that action makes me want to take it out on him, but if I did, I'd be late for school.
そんなことあるわけないじゃない。もしもの話っていうのは起きないからもしもの話なのよ。もしそんなことになったら、その時は私の見通しが甘かったってだけなんだから。
I feel like that's quite likely.
よし、確かに聞いたぞ。それでは行こうか、リン。君の学び屋まで30分。そろそろ出なければ間に合わない時間帯だ。
驚いた。もしもの話って本当にあるのね。
ああ、私も驚いている。いや、何事もケチをつけておくものだな。思わぬところで役に立った。
Did they find one? As soon as we pass the school's main gate, we joke around like that. Around us are students heading to classrooms, and it's almost time for homeroom. In the crowd of people rushing into the school building, we stand dumbfounded.
空気がよどんでるどころの話じゃない。これ、もう結界が張られてない？
完全にではないが、すでに準備は始まっているようだな。ここまで派手にやっているということは、よほどの大物か。
Yeah, so there's another one here. Okay.
とんでもない素人ね。異常を感じさせる結界なんて三流だもの。やるんなら仕掛ける時まで隠し通しておくのが一流よ。
で、君はどちらだと思う？リン。
Well, she probably thinks he's trash.
さあ、一流だろうが三流だろうが知ったことじゃないわ。私のテリトリーでこんなゲスなもの仕掛けたやつなんて問答無用でぶっ倒すだけよ。
Jesus Christ! I walk angrily through the schoolyard. As a magus, I'm not about to mince words, but I can't be satisfied until I properly punish the creator of this boundary field. Good lord. Could be a trap. Just saying. It could have been noticeable so that, like, it would lure another magus in. Especially if they know that there's another magus. Especially because she saw somebody on the building, right, when she looked down. And she felt eyes on her, and somebody was looking up, like, right at her. And she seemed to recognize them. I'd bet there is indeed a magus here. After second period, while walking back from the music room, I see a first-year student walking unsteadily. The student is carrying some stack of papers, and it looks like she's having trouble.
手伝うわ、さくら。
Ah.
遠坂先輩。何、プリント？世界史って言ったらうちの担任じゃない。クズキのやつ。女生徒に使いをさせるなんて何考えてんだか。ほら。
Whoops.
はい。ありがとうございます、先輩。いいっていいって。それじゃあこれ、さくらのクラスまで？くずき先生のところです。誤字があったから回収するって言ってました。
Recalling handouts.
納得。
Okay.
くずきは融通きかないからね。一つ誤字があったぐらいで
What?
試験を中止させるやつだった。
I wish I had a teacher who'd cancel a whole test over one misspelling.
試験って学校の試験をですか？そう。あれは去年の中間試験だったかな。みんながガーッとマークシートを塗りつぶしてる時にやってきてね。誤字があるので正しい問題ではなかった。よって試験は中止。後日改めて行うってあの調子で淡々と言ったのよ。私たちも驚いたけど先生方も驚いてね。今でもあれは語り草よ。
I'd be pissed, actually. If I was ready to take the test and they said, no, you're just taking it at a later day. One misspelling. I'd be like, no, I'm just taking this one. Like, tough.
なんか、くずき先生らしいですね、それ。先生、ものを教える立場に間違いは許されないって人ですから。
That's a bit much.
くずきのは度が過ぎてるけどね。さくらもそのうち思い知るわよ。くずきの堅物ぶりったら岩か山かって感じなんだから。
Yeah, seems like it.
遠坂先輩、
久月先生のことが好きなんですね。先輩がそんな風に言うなんて珍しいです。
That's her definition of liking someone? She called him stubborn as a mountain.
そう？まあ確かにクズキはもうちょっと柔軟性があればなって思うけど。
I think that, but I also think he's not bad this way. At our school, there's a teacher liked by all students and a teacher feared by all students. The balance between the two works so well that I think Kazuki-sensei is a good disciplinarian. He's the stick and the carrot and stick approach.
まあ2年になればもっとクズキと顔を合わせるようになるわ。あいつは倫理も受け持ってるし。そんなことよりさくら、ちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだけど、いい？
She can address what was going on last night.
何ですか先輩。
昨日の話なんだけど、さくら見かけない外国人と話してなかった？
見てたんですか先輩。
Perhaps.
たまたま。それであれ何だったの？知り合い？
いいえ、それがよくわからない人だったんです。あの人、道に迷ってたみたいでした。いろいろ聞いてくるんだけど、何を言ってるのか聞き取れなくて、
That's strange. Ah, so she ran away.
そっか。ごめんなさい。少しだけ気になったから。
Yeah, I had no clue what that was about either. I don't know if I fully believe
構い
that,
ません。
but
ここまででいいです先輩。あとは届けるだけですから。
そう？それじゃあまたね。
I pass the handouts back to Sakura. As I start to head back to my classroom, I pause.
さくら、最近はどう？
はい、大丈夫。元気です、私。
そう。シンジがまた何かやったら言いなさい。あいつはどってものを知らないから。黙っていると悪化する一方よ。
心配いりませんよ先輩。兄さん、この頃は優しいんですから。
Insane? Did we knock him down a peg? If she says that with such a smile, I can't say anything else. I bid her goodbye once more and turn my back on the familiar junior. Feels like she's hiding stuff. Not to be, like, malicious, just because she doesn't want to, like, air out other people's dirty laundry type person. I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's an incorrect analysis, though. The day ends. Students leave the classroom and the building gets darker by the second. The sun will set soon. When the red sun sets and night falls, there should be no one left in the school.
始めるわよ、あーちゃん。まずは結界の下調べ。どんな結界かを調べてから消すか残すか決めましょう。
Oh, first mission. Okay. I address my invisible partner. Archer must understand, as I sense him nodding. Okay. Kinda hyped. A boundary field is something that protects its caster. You could call it a geographical magic in which one knits a line of magic across a land to change the interior. Infinite different effects are possible within a boundary field. There are all sorts of boundary field, from one that can conceal the area from people's eyes to one that limits the usage of magic within them. Oops, stumbled. The most aggressive of all are those who oppress life forms within them. Oh. The boundary field laid out over our school is of that kind. What? It is not yet complete, but once it is, everyone in the school should fall unconscious. What? But something like this won't affect me. After all, a boundary field is something targeted not at me, but at the place I am in. Such an indirect magical energy intervention has no effect on magi, who have magical energy throughout their bodies. A weak current floating through the air will only be repelled by a strong current like myself. So this boundary field has a different intention. I don't know what kind of person set up this boundary field, but his intention is not to defeat a master. It's hard to believe, but his target is everyone in this school. There's only one reason to do something like that. Unbelievably, this guy's what? I mean, it could be a way to find who doesn't get knocked out by it. And you're like, huh, you're a magi. You're gonna die now. I search the school building and emerge onto the rooftop to finish. It's dark outside. It's 8 o'clock now, way past the school closing time, which is 6. The only people still in the school area are me and Archer.
これで7つ目か。とりあえずここが起点みたいね。
An 8-stroke mark is openly drawn on the rooftop. Okay, I feel like that should have gone away. This purplish red character only visible to Magi is something that I have never seen before, engraved with something unknown.
参ったな。これ私の手には負えない。
The person who set up this boundary field didn't think about anything. He didn't think, but the boundary field is bound with amazing skill. I can temporarily drain magical energy from this boundary field, but I cannot eliminate the boundary field itself. The boundary field can be reactivated just by having the caster put more magical energy into it again. Oh, that's not good. Archer says nothing. He's been quiet ever since we came out onto the rooftop, probably because he too recognizes the power of this boundary field. This boundary field just doesn't... Excuse me. This boundary field doesn't just drain one's strength. Once activated, it will literally dissolve all the people within it. There are boundary fields that drain physical and mental strength from people within them. What the? It's gonna dissolve people? Whoever made this is a menace to society. I'm just saying. But the boundary field laid out over the school is on a completely different level. This is a soul eater. It is a blood fort that dissolves people within it and claims the souls that seep out. Jesus Christ! I gotta chill. Since ancient times, souls have been hard to handle. Even though they're believed to exist and are necessary for magic, only one magist has ever understood the soul. Souls are only things to be investigated, or things to be moved into containers. It's incomprehensible not merely to suck them out, but also to collect them in a single place. It's because a magist has no use for them, even if one were to collect this unconvertible energy. So if there's a reason, it must be...
あーちゃん、あなたたちってそういうもの？
I ask coldly.
ご推察の通りだ。我々は基本的に霊体だと言っただろう。故に食事は第二、ないし第三要素となる。
So they're just feeding their servant?
君たちが肉を栄養とするように、サーバントは精神と魂を栄養とする。栄養を取ったところで基本的な能力は変わらないが、取り入れれば取り入れるほどタフになる。
So what?
つまり魔力の貯蔵量が上がっていく。
So what?
とい
Dude's
うわけだ。
gonna massacre that whole school to make his servant that much more powerful. Jesus, bro. Yes. To strengthen your servant, you must attack people indiscriminately.
マスターから提供される魔力だけじゃ足りないってこと？
足りなくはないが、大いに越したことはない。実力が劣る場合、弱点を武士で補うのが戦争だろ。
So, they said, yeah, we drag all the civilians into this war.
周囲の人間からエネルギーを奪うのは、マスターとしては基本的な戦略だ。そういった意味で言えば、この結界は効率がいい。
Archer is saying that if I want to win, I should kill people and steal their strength. How simple. I already knew that. That's why I think I know which path I'm going to choose.
それ勘に触るわ。二度と口にしないで、あーちゃん。
I say so while staring at the mark. For some reason, Archer sounds happy as he confidently
同
answers.
感だ。私も真似をするつもりはない。
Okay, I'm glad we're not gonna murder a bunch of civilians. That's nice.
さて、それじゃ消そうか。無駄だろうけど、とりあえず邪魔をするぐらいにはなる。
Let me take a screenshot of that. I don't have a thumbnail yet. Jeez. I approach the mark and extend my left arm. The magic crest on my left arm is the Book of Magic, passed down the Tosaka family. Oh. I switch on my sense. I push magical energy into my magic crest, read the part that explains the elimination of boundary fields, and now all I have to do is activate it. Eliminate. Surgical extraction. Second section. I touch the surface with my left hand and let my magical energy flow out. This will at least wash the color off this mark, but...
なんだよ、消しちまうのか？もったいねえ。
Yeah, I figured. Suddenly, as if to stop the erasure of the boundary field, a voice echoes over. They're here. I quickly stand up and turn around. Oh, hey, what's up? On top of the water tower. So it looks like there's another servant. Oh boy. In the sky, 10 meters away, a guy is looking down at me. Deep ultramarine that melts into the night. His grin is wild, and a bestial smell carries on the wind. The stare of the beast is a cool one. The man in blue looks at me like an old friend, even in this situation.
これあなたの仕業？
いや、小細工を浪するのは魔術師の役割だ。俺たちはただ命じられたまま戦うのみ。だろ？そこの兄さんよ。
So yeah. Casual, but his voice is filled with murderous intent. And he knows Archer is here. This guy can see Archer.
やっぱりサーバント。
そうとも。で、それがわかるお嬢ちゃんは俺の敵ってことでいいのかな？
I suppose so. I guess we got a box. My spine freezes. A normal, light tone of voice. It's colder than anything I've ever heard. Scary enough to make me vomit. I can't tell how I should move or what my best course is, but my reason is telling me absolutely not to fight this man right here.
ほう、大したもんだ。何もわからねえようで要点は抑えてやがる。
So what? Is he like too strong for us to fight?
ああ、失敗したなこりゃ。面白がって声をかけるんじゃなかったぜ。
The man raises his arm. It happens in an instant. The arm that held nothing up until now. Now holds a red weapon, 2 meters long. Some kind of staff? We got the monk. I jump to the side without thinking. I can't spare the time to consider that I can't jump full force while on a rooftop. I just jump with full force to the side as if trying to smash the fence. Oh lord. A whirlwind brushes past my hair. Barely made it. He rushed me in an eye blink and mercilessly slashed at the space I just occupied.
いい足してるな、お嬢ちゃん。
Oh good lord. The blue whirlwind pursues me. There are no escapes. How am I supposed to read that? The fence is behind me. To my sides. No, I won't make it. I think that's what that said. What? What is she saying? My response is fast. I run the magic crest on my left arm and assemble the magic in a single measure. It lightens my body and adjusts gravity. In this instant, my body becomes light as a feather, and I leap.
Rim.
分かってる。任せて。
I jump over the fence and fall from the rooftop. Oh, she said yeah, super jump. What the? The wind and pressure push against my body. 15 meters to the ground. 1.7 seconds until landing. No, that's too slow. He'll catch up.
フォックス、ゴッドエスアートレス。あーちゃん、着地任せた。
I let Archer take the impact of the landing and start to run as soon as my feet touch the ground. Oh my god, that's so cool. What? These fight scenes are pretty cool, I gotta be honest. First, I have to change the location. We have to go somewhere we can move around freely, not a small place like a rooftop. We have to move to a large field with no obstacles to play to Archer's and my strengths. I run from the rooftop to the school ground in less than 7 seconds. Good lord. Looking at it. It's more than 100 meters. My speed is so fast that normal people would only see a blur. Okay, yeah, these fight scenes are dope. But that's
いや、
not fast
本
enough.
気でいい足だ。ここで仕留めるのはいささかもったいなさすぎるか。
Not fast enough. Oh man. Meaningless against a servant.
アーチャー
At the moment I step back, Archer steps in front, taking form. A cloudy night. In Archer's hands is a short sword that reflects the weak moonlight.
へ
The man crooks his mouth.
え、いいね。そう来なくっちゃ。話が早いやつは嫌いじゃない。
What? He's got a sword. Is he trying to bluff his saber or something? Or does he use like a sword and a bow? A large whirlwind. That's the weapon swung at me on the rooftop. The blood-red crimson lance that tries to mercilessly slaughter me. Okay, so it's a lance. This boy's a lancer.
ランサーのサーバント
Lancer. Yeah, I called it. See, I'm just built different.
いかにも、そういうあんたのサーバントはセイバー。
Yep. Are we bluffing?
って感じじゃねえな。何者だ、てめえ。
There's no sign of his previous casual demeanor. In response to Lancer, full of murderous intent, Archer remains silent. The distance between the two is about 5 meters. The weapon in Lancer's hand is about 2 meters. For that man with the bestial smell, I feel like the remaining 3 meters are meaningless.
まっとうな一騎打ちをするタイプじゃねえな、てめえは。ってことは、アーチャーか。
Correct. Archer doesn't respond to the sneering voice either. Confronting each other, strangely, are red and blue. The two counterfeit colored knights are already watching for the other's clinching blow. Red versus blue? We're playing Halo now?
いいぜ。好みじゃねえが、出会ったからにはやるだけだ。そら、獲物を出せよ、アーチャー。これでも礼はわきまえているからな。それぐらいは待ってやる。
Archer does not respond. There's nothing to say to an enemy he must defeat. That steel back of his seems to declare so. That makes me realize I'm being stupid. Archer's just waiting for my word, my command.
アーチャー
I talk to his back without approaching him.
手助けはしないわあなたの力ここで見せて
Dang! Show me your powers. Was that a laugh? He grins as if to answer my words, and the Red Knight dashes forward. Twirling gusts of wind. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're about to box. Short sword in hand, the red bullet launches.
バカが。
What meets him is a blue spear thrust. The dashing archer is a raging wind. The responding spearhead is a divine wind. The sword is swung, a swing to deflect the thrust. Archer parries the thrust of the high-speed lance with his short sword. The one in red stops. The enemy did not permit Archer's rush. The enemy doesn't even let him get within 2 meters, the range of the spear. For a long weapon, distance is always preferred. As Lancer has a weapon almost 2 meters long, he only needs to attack when the enemy comes into his range. Thrusting at an approaching enemy is easier than moving out yourself. But even so, Lancer closes the distance himself and doesn't even allow Archer to move forward.
たわけ。旧兵風情が接近戦を挑んだな。
That does seem exceptionally bold, I'm not gonna lie. His temper is like a burning fire. Lancer closes in with each blow, with no thought of stopping. With a long weapon, it's suicidal to close into an enemy. The spearman's tactic is to use their long range to defeat the enemy and win the battle. So, as Lancer is just advancing unchecked, he doesn't have a chance of winning.
嘘
That's just by the book. Lancer's lance shows no vulnerabilities as it strikes for the throat, shoulders, forehead, and heart. Thrusts so fast even the after images are blurred. Good lord. As each strike of his lance repels, rebuffs, and pushes back Archer, any one of his thrusts could be called a final blow. But even as a bowman, Archer is a servant. No ordinary attack can be a final blow. How do you even defeat a servant? Is it just like a normal way, or would you have to like kill the master? Having repelled the lance aimed at his forehead, Archer closes in with speed superior to Lancer's lance. Based on its shape, you might think that the main attack of a lance is a thrust, but the basic strength of a lance is in swings. This is because a wide swing using its long range does not allow the enemy to dodge it by stepping back. A partial retreat does not allow escape, and an attempt to counterattack will only result in a slashed stomach. But simply going forward will end up in a smashed rib from the long shaft of the lance. Archer and Lancer are similarly built. On top of that, it's hard for Archer with no heavy armor to step into range of a lance swung like a whirlwind. But the thrusts are a different story. Blazing fast thrusts certain to strike you is certainly scary, but as long as the attack targets a point, there are many ways to avoid it once you see it. As Archer did just then, hitting the shaft of the approaching lance to redirect it slightly creates an opening. It must be because he underestimated a bowman. The advantage of a long weapon is the length and freedom of its range. Once Lancer has discarded these advantages himself, his defeat is... then he's going to come back real quick. Comeback time. The one in red stops. A nightmare-like time is reversing. The thrust is faster than the previous ones. Oh, good lord. Even faster? Yo, how fast are they going? Archer tries to parry the blow, but he gets flicked away along with his weapon. There are no openings in Lancer's attacks. No, not just that. The thrust increases in speed and power without limit, and becomes a final blow even for a servant. We were the ones that underestimated him. For that servant, for Lancer's weapon, there are no general rules about lances. Who could ever parry continuous attacks without even space to breathe between them? Archer manages to retreat a bit in parries, and as a result, the distance between them opens a little. That distance. Lancer uses that distance as a runway to launch an even more powerful attack. Just pull out a bow and just dome this dude. Nope. The raging continuous attack is only a repetition of that. But the blows themselves are godlike. 10 blows already. No, it must actually be many times more than that. The heavy rain of lance pours with yet more strength, trying to skewer Archer to death. It's not fast, but it's just skill. It thrusts like a waterfall with no change in speed. What can Archer do as he's now on the defensive? With such a short sword, he can only parry the lance. He has no way to close on Lancer, and he continues to retreat. A vacuum of steel unfolds. Support. I have to back Archer up, but my throat won't respond. My magic has poor aim. Unless Archer gets far away from Lancer, I will hit him with my magic as well. Such an opening would only increase Lancer's advantage. And besides, frankly, I'm captivated. This is a battle between servants. This is the Holy Grail War itself, where we use heroic spirits, the highest rank of familiar, whom we would never otherwise obtain. Servants. Familiars of different classes that obey the 7 masters. These are the highest ranked familiars, called heroic spirits that the Holy Grail summons. So it's misleading to call them familiars. Originally, familiars were just beings that ran errands for the Magus. Imagine perhaps a cat in boots, or a cute white bird, or a black dog that doesn't obey its master, or something like that. Familiars that a mere Magus can summon are of that level. Familiars are just familiars. They are only mascots that run errands for their masters, so they cannot be beings stronger than their masters. But servants are different. They are the most powerful beings. Even for sorcerers, of which there are only 5 in this world, it would probably be impossible to form a contract with them. Why? It's not that the summoning is hard, or even that the ability of the servant surpasses that of the Magus. Servants themselves are beings above magic. I'll make it clear. Servants are heroes from the past. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Myth, legend, fable, history. Fiction or not, the superhuman beings who gained concrete existence in folklore are what we call heroes. Oh my goodness, they can be fiction? That is so cool. So they're all like historical figures or myths or fables. Wow. A hero that becomes eternal in people's mind is no longer human after their death and is promoted to another form of existence. Humans who bring about miracles, save people, and achieve great deeds are called heroes even after their death. After being so called, they are promoted to heroic spirits after their death and become guardians of humanity. Yo, so who got Superman? They just win, right? Could you imagine? It doesn't matter whether these people existed in reality or only in stories. It is people's minds that create a hero. People's wishes that this is how things should be, give them form, and set them up as real. Authenticity does not matter. They can have form as long as they have fame as a legend and people have faith. The ultimate ideal humans have created, the greatest human people have created. These are the heroes, the heroic spirits. And of course, since they are beyond human, they cannot be controlled by humans. A magus usually borrows their power only to mimic them. They can't summon the heroic spirits themselves. Oh. Huh. Okay, so, yeah, it's only with the heroic grail. Or, heroic. With the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail made that impossibility into reality. It summons the heroic spirit beyond human control and turns it into a familiar obedient to the master. That nonsense is proof that the Holy Grail is almighty. And with the passing of years ignored, the heroic spirits are summoned, the most recent from 100 years ago, the oldest from the ancient days. Oh, so no Superman. Okay. The 7 heroic spirits obey each of the 7 masters, protect them, and eliminate the masters of the enemy. Heroes from every age and country are revived into the present day to kill one another for supremacy. That is so cool. This is why the ritual is called the Holy Grail War. But it seems the Holy Grail has its limits too. Even the Holy Grail cannot indiscriminately call unto the spirit-like beings. Just as a form invented by humans is required for the imaginary 6th element, known as the devil, to take form, the heroic spirits also need to take a form to live in this world. That form is their temporary name, and the way they exist in this world. The Holy Grail has furnished classes, so that the heroic spirits may take form more easily, and it only summons the heroic spirits that match these classes. It's like a passport to the present, as it sets up a role as a familiar in advance. By allowing the summoned heroic spirit to take on that role, it helps the spirit to take form. Okay, so they are just classes. Got you. If there are 7 masters chosen by the Holy Grail, there are also 7 servants obeying those masters. There are 7 furnished classes. Knight of the Sword, Saber. Knight of the Lance, Lancer. Knight of the Bow, Archer. Mounted Soldier, Rider. Magus, Caster. Silent Killer, Assassin. Oh, one more. Mad Warrior, Berserker. I literally called it. They'd be a Berserker. Okay, so we know Lancer and Archer. We know of Saber. We have no clue who the other 4 are, or who they might be. If I had to guess, the woman in the prologue was Saber, right? I don't know that I even remember seeing a sword, but whatchamacallit, I just feel like the armor doesn't fit a rider, or just kind of the look. It doesn't fit the other ones, right? The ones that would fit most are Lancer or Archer, right? Rider doesn't fit. That was like solid steel armor, like they described it, and it was like a dress, right? So, like, I don't think you could ride a mount with that. Caster, I don't know. Generic fantasy casters don't have armor like that, typically. Same with assassins, same with berserkers, right? So, I'd assume that was Saber. I could be very wrong, though. Only the heroic spirits with attributes of these classes are summoned to the present to obey the master and become a servant. That is the servant system. A summoning and contract with the heroic spirit beyond human control to win the miracle beyond human grasp. The ultimate competition held only on this ground, the one and the only Holy Grail War. A loud crash. The short sword that deflected Lancer's lance flies from Archer's hand. Oh, yikes. This is Lancer's technique. A straight thrust that turns into a sweep at Archer's wrist. It was a blow Archer cannot avoid, even had he seen it coming. There is no effective way of parrying a lance with a sword. That's why lances have weapon triangle advantage over them, over swords in Fire Emblem. I'm just saying. A strong rebuff only results in a stronger counterattack, and a weak rebuff does not create any openings. The important aspect of the battle between a sword and a lance lies in defeating the enemy when he is at the wrong range. There's no hesitation in Lancer. His movement to push Archer back stops. He must intend to end the match in a single instant. The stares of the firmly placed lancer and the swordless archer clash. In that instant, the lance is thrust just like a flash of light. It can't even be seen. Forehead, neck, and heart. 3 shots are launched, any one a fatal blow. But the flash, too fast to see, is repelled by a shining blade. Do you get another sword? In Archer's hand is the short sword again. The sword like before, a Chinese sword like a hatchet. But the biggest difference is... Oh, he's dual wielding now. Oh, that's clean. That's clean. A pair of swords. In his hands are matched swords, mirror images of each other. Lancer's lance flies. I mean, I guess he's not really in bow range right now. Oh my goodness. This is way too cool. That might be a little too spoilery for a thumbnail, but it is fire. As if to finish Archer off, the lance moves faster and faster. Archer defends with a burning spirit. His hawk-like eyes say that he will not retreat anymore. No, that he will only advance from now on. The clashing sounds are like a well-orchestrated music. 2 steels clanging against each other. The sparking clashes increase in rhythm without pause. The battle of the two is like a vacuum. It sucks in the air around them, and it seems like anything approaching them would be cut to pieces. Yeah, it probably would be. In reality, it only lasts an instant. But for me looking on, it seems to take an infinitely long time. Lancer tries not to let Archer near him, while Archer advances using his swords as a shield. Over 100 blows have been thrown, and Archer loses a sword every time. But it's only for a moment, as Archer has a sword in his hand in the next instant, forcing Lancer back a little each time. Okay, so it's not as simple as disarm them and they lose. Lancer finally admits his carelessness, that even though he doesn't know who is before him, he will be the loser if he dismisses him as a mere bowman. The distance widens. Probably to recover, Lancer puts a large distance between them. His speed is extraordinary. Archer's charge was out of this world, but it was still slow compared to Lancer. The movement of his retreat had panther-like speed and agility.
27. それだけ弾き飛ばしてもまだあるとはな。
27 times. He's been disarmed 27 times. I need to know what's going on with that. Lancer mutters in irritation. No, it's more like confusion. I feel the same way. According to Father, a servant carries only one weapon. Oh, no, so it is supposed to be that simple. Except Archer's like, you know what? Screw the rules. Here's a sword. Here's another sword. How about I pull out another one? Oh, here's one more. Psych, here's 25 more. Like, their weapon is filled with magical energy, so it's not something that can be created one after another, like Archer was just doing. Servants are heroes that sublimate their spirits after death, equaling the holy spirits. To put it another way, they are like devils, or angels. They are powerful familiars on their own, but their most powerful weapon is their proof of heroism, a magical item called their noble phantasm. A noble phantasm is a weapon or armor that the servant used when they were a hero, and it's treated as a last resort. The noble phantasm is the one and only weapon for a servant. This is because the noble phantasm is an ultimate weapon without equal. The lance that Lancer is using will show its power as a noble phantasm when Lancer deems it necessary. A noble phantasm is an impressive weapon by itself, but its true ability is to release all its power using its true name. Heroes' weapons which rule over all the others and which have killed dragons and gods. Servants activate their noble phantasms using their magical energy. It's much like magic. Servants recreate the destructions in legend using their noble phantasm as a catalyst. Yeah, but that doesn't work very well when we have no clue what his noble phantasm is, huh? Noble phantasms are never disposable. The swords that Archer brought out must be excellent, but they cannot be his noble phantasm. He is the servant Archer, so the noble phantasm he conceals must be a bow.
どうしたランサー。様子見とは君らしくないな。先ほどの勢いはどこに行った？
Oh my god, he's taunting him.
ち、タヌキが減らず口を叩きやがるか。
He's calling him a cheater? What? Lancer's irritation is understandable. Even though Lancer fought as a spearman, Archer fended him off as a swordsman. Which means Archer hasn't shown any of his abilities yet. So it's natural for Lancer to feel ghastly.
いいぜ、聞いてやるよ。てめえどこの英雄だ？
I can't reveal that.
二等使いの旧兵なぞ聞いたことがない。そういう君は分かりやすいな。僧兵には最速の英雄が選ばれるというが、君はその中でもえりすぐりだ。
Oh, who is he then?
これほどの宗師は世界に3人といまい。加えて、獣のごとき敏捷さといえば、おそらく1人。
Alright, give me his name.
ほう、よく言ったアーチャー。
At that instant, his vast murderous intent makes me forget to breathe. Lancer's arm moves. This is different from before, a stance free from content. The spearhead is lowered as if to strike the ground, and only his stare pierces Archer.
ならば食らうか。我が必殺の一撃を。
Oh, great.
止めはしない。いずれ超えねばならぬ敵だ。
Lancer's body sinks down. At the same time, a chill like thorns fills the schoolyard. Who is he? The air freezes. Not a metaphor. It literally freezes. What? All the mana in the air is frozen. The only person allowed to breathe here is the warrior called Lancer. The lance in Lancer's hand is unmistakably a demonic one. Oh, that's nice. Now, it is waiting to take its true form in the moment it strikes.
まずい。
He'll be beaten. I don't know what kind of noble phantasm that is, but Archer will be beaten. Implausible since this is the first time I've felt such an intuition, but there's no doubt about it. Archer will die when that lance is thrust. It is determined. Literally, Lancer's lance is the embodiment of inescapable death. Archer will be defeated. Archer will die when Lancer pierces his heart. And yet, even though I know what's going to happen, I can't even help him. Because if I move even a finger, that will trigger the attack. So if anything can stop this battle and stop Archer's defeat, it would be... Is she going to use a command?
誰だ?
It would be the chance appearance of a stranger we have all overlooked. Oh, yeah. That would help. The ghastly air coming from Lancer disappears. The sound of fleeing footsteps. That figure is definitely wearing a school uniform. Was that the master?
生徒、まだ学校に残ってたの？
そのようだな。おかげで命拾いしたが。
Could have been a magus. Archer says calmly. Well, we were certainly saved, but...
失敗した。ランさんに気を取られて周りの気配に気づかなかった。ってアーチャー、あんた何してんの？
見てわからないか？手が空いたから休んでいる。
Okay.
なわけないでしょ。ランさんはどうしたのよ。
Good question.
さっきの人影を追ったよ。
Oh.
目撃者だからな。おそらく消しに行ったのだろう。
Or dude. Or girl. For an instant, my thoughts stop.
追ってアーチャー。私もすぐに追いつくから。
Archer goes after Lancer immediately.
くそ、なんて間抜け。
I curse my carelessness. It's the rule of Magi to eliminate any witnesses, which is why, if one didn't want to do that, one just had to allow no witnesses. I've done that until now, so why do I have to make a mistake today of all days? Yeah, I guess you have a habit of doing that, huh? At night, where even the moonlight is obscured, a student is lying on the cold hallway floor and Archer is standing still. Too late? Yep. The smell hits my nose. The blood on the floor makes it clear that it's the smell of death.
追ってアーチャー。ランサーはマスターのところに戻るはず。せめて相手の顔ぐらい把握しないと割が合わない。
Someone innocent is already dead. Archer goes after Lancer. I'm left alone with the student lying on the floor. I can't look straight at him, but I must. This is my fault. This is my fault. This is my fault. Ever since I was a child, ever since I became the successor of Tosaka, I've been preparing for something like this. There's no good or evil for Magi. I've always told myself that this road has only my blood and the blood of others, so...
ランサーの槍で一突きか。 心臓やられてちゃ助からない。
Oh yeah, no way. I don't know how long it's been since Lancer killed him. Was he lucky or unlucky to be pierced through the heart? I guess Lancer's attack isn't a simple external wound, as the flow of blood from the rupture isn't too severe. It's not too severe, but it's all over when the brain doesn't get any more blood. No, basically, if his heart were pierced, he should have died instantly.
その割にはまだ死んでないってのはすごいな。
He isn't dead yet. He's still breathing faintly as if to give his last scream, but that will only last a few more seconds. He can't heal his own wounds, and I don't have enough power to save him either.
顔を見ないと。それぐらいはしなくちゃ。
I try to touch the head facing the ground and realize my fingertips won't move. They're trembling. Is it somebody we recognize? Watch it be like Shinji or something, whatever his name is. The blue-haired dude who was like Blair. Wonder why. I'm used to such things. I've had to make these kinds of choices many times before. I've lost many things due to my mistakes and my selfishness. That's why I'm ready for a day like this. So why am I so angry at myself?
ごめんね。見とるぐらいはしてあげる。
I control my trembling fingers and my failing knees with my will, and look at the face of the student. A huge smacking sound. It really feels like I've been hit on the head with a hammer.
やめてよね。なんだってあんたが。
Wait, it might be the student council president. I grit my teeth, not to suppress my trembling. I'm really pissed off. Why is it him? Why did it have to be him? I'm not mad at Lancer for killing a witness quickly and perfectly, just as a servant should do. I'm just angry at him for staying late at this place, on this day. Sakura's face flashes in my mind. Oh my god, that scared me so much. She will definitely cry. I recall one red-tinted day after school, a long time ago. A distant sunset. Someone always running alone. And a boring girl staring at that from far away. Oh my god, this is brutal, man. And before me, the corpse of someone who happened to get involved. There is a way. I might fail and lose my last resort in the process, but there is still a way. No, I'll lose my last resort whether I succeed or fail, so the result for me won't change. It's a mistake. The fact of his death is already determined. It's my fault for not noticing the things around me. It's his fault for unluckily staying late. Who is it? So I don't need to go that far. Yes, because this is what my father, who gave me nothing else, left just for me. A powerful chunk of magical energy, a reliable last resort to win through this battle. A precious, precious thing just for me.
だからなんだってのよ、バカ。
I shake the feeling off and kneel in front of the one who will become a corpse in another second. Is she gonna use it to save him? Oh man. I feel like that would show a lot about her as like a person.
やっちゃった。
The pendant in my hand becomes lighter. My father's memento is drained almost to emptiness and falls onto what used to be a dying body.
まあ、仕方ないか。
Yes, it can't be helped. I didn't have the power or skills to revive someone with a damaged heart, damaged blood vessels, and on the verge of brain death on top of that. That's why I had to make up for my lack of skill with this powerful object.
まだ息があるのが運の尽きだった。完全に死んでいたら、どんなに魔力の蓄えがあっても蘇生なんてできなかったし。
So whoever it was, she saved him and used up one of her most powerful resources. A respectable choice, but also potentially a damaging one. But since he was still alive, I just did what I could and ended up saving his life.
失敗してたら目も当てられなかったけど、成功したからいっか。ええ、正直に言えば充実感あるしね。こういう経験も悪くはなかったわ。
I'm just bluffing.
済んだことは済んだこと。こいつが目を覚ます前に帰らないと。
Who was it? Yeah, there's no need for me to stay here any longer. Archer should be following Lancer, so I should go home by myself. Oh, you're just gonna leave Archer? Okay. Guess bro's just vibing. On my way back, I remember. I left the pendant at school, just a pendant now that the magical energy has been drained out of it. I've no more use for that pendant. Sure, it might have a bit of magical energy left in it, but surely less than the 10 jewels I have. What my father intended to leave for me was enough magical energy to win the Holy Grail War. So now, without magical energy, that thing is meaningless. Yeah, enough magical energy to win the Holy Grail War and you used it on reviving some random person. Shows a lot about who she is as a person, but again, that might be a bad decision in terms of winning this war. I enter the house without saying anything and sit on the sofa. Archer isn't back yet. I sigh and listen to the clock for a few minutes.
いい加減頭を切り替えなくちゃ。あれだけの戦いを経験しておいて、何ほうけてるんだ私。
I jump up and brew some tea. There's so many things to think about. Most importantly, the servants. I've just witnessed a battle between servants I had previously only understood intellectually.
ランサーか。宝具を使われそうになった時は焦ったけど、実際使ってたら正体は分かったのよね。
I mean, Archer knows what it is, so as long as he survives the battle. The easiest way to beat an enemy servant is to learn their identity. Ignoring for the moment the idiot who doesn't even know his own identity, the biggest weak point of a servant is their true name. Discovering the servant's true name, in other words, figuring out their identity, should let you take a guess at what kind of noble phantasm they might have. It goes without saying, but since servants are heroic spirits, they have a legend associated with them. If you figure out their legend, you should be able to find out most of their abilities. Servants are called by their class names because they want to hide their true names. Because the more famous a hero is, the more people know about their weapons and their weaknesses. A heroic spirit that becomes a servant never gives out their true identity. The only ones that know the servants' identities are the masters. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. If you know who they are, you can know what they're weak to. There's even a tacit understanding that the masters hide their servants' identities while trying to discover the identities of the others. This is the 5th Holy Grail War. The qualities of the servants are determined by the ranks of the summoned heroic spirits. Is it the 5th one? Seems like a low number for some reason. I don't know. Qualities of the servants are determined by the ranks of the summoned heroic spirits. It goes without saying that the more famous heroes and the heroes with better weapons are stronger. But it's difficult to summon such heroic spirits. To summon a heroic spirit, one must have a connection with them, such as a weapon they use during their lives. Okay, so that's what they meant by, like, a bone or, like, a weapon. So if you have, like, you know, Excalibur, you could summon King Arthur or something. Even the Magic Association has few of such things. So generally, one will summon a heroic spirit that suits them, like I did. The servant's strength is determined by the rank of the heroic spirit. But it's not that simple, as even the most powerful heroic spirits may have a hard time depending on the class they are assigned to. That is because of the special abilities assigned to each class, the possibility of the weak defeating the strong. The 7 classes each have a different additional ability, and one even has a chance of defeating an opponent of higher rank depending on the ability's affinity. To take an example, an infamous hero has defeated a great hero 4 times in the past. As far as I know, the most powerful servant is Saber. In all the previous 4 wars, Saber has made it to the final fight. It is said that the 3 classes, Saber, Lancer, and Archer, have strong magic resistance. But it's simply, magic is pretty much useless against them, because they are fighters who fought through the Age of Myths, when magics were used widely. Magics that Magi use now would probably dissipate just by touching them. Anyways, that's why these 3 classes are considered the basics and the best. Yeah, that's a pretty good strength, huh? Another that's worthy of mention is the Servant Berserker. The heroic spirit summoned into this class loses their sanity. Oh, that's nice. Just as this name implies, they become a mad warrior puppet of their master. The benefit from this is a strengthening of their power, far exceeding the powers they had when alive. However, the more powerful a servant becomes, the greater the burden it imposes on the master. In the past, masters who summoned berserkers couldn't control their rampaging servants and destroyed themselves by running out of magical energy. No exceptions. Oh, okay. So, maybe it'll be different this time, but seems like berserkers suck. might take some people out, but like won't win. The winners and losers of the Holy Grail War are largely determined by the abilities of the servants. Well, I expect there are ways to win it by the master's efforts, but it is basically a fight between the servants. This is why a master should be very careful when summoning a servant. Unlike you were. I silently consider the plans we should make from now on. The clock, fixed already, strikes 11 while I do so, and Archer comes home.
おかえりなさい。成果はどう？
すまない。失敗した。よほど用心深いマスターだったのだろう。少なくとも、こちら側の町にはランサーのマスターはいなかった。
As I expected. Lancer was alone, and it seems his master isn't the type to show up for battles personally.
そう。まあ、簡単にはいかないわよね。
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Yes, there's no way everything will go as I might hope, so it can't be helped. Let's consider what happened tonight as a tuition fee for the lessons learned.
覇気がないな、マスター。いつもの威勢はどうした？まさか、先の一戦でおじけづいたというのはなしだぞ。
Okay, I respect that, Archer.
君が命じるのなら、今すぐにでもランサーとの再戦に赴いてもいい。
Tell me his true identity. Archer protests silently that we should do so. I see. I guess I look depressed.
そんなわけないでしょ。私が打って出ないのはね、単に無駄手間をしたくないだけなんだから。
無駄手間をしたくない？
だってまだマスターの数が揃ってないでしょ。今夜のはやむなしだったけど、開戦の合図があるまで戦わないわ。
Is it? Well, we
それ
kind
が
of
聖
broke
杯
that.
戦争のルールだって父さんは言ってたし。
So I kind of broke that rule.
そうか。君の父親もマスターだったのか。
Yep. Archer nods, understanding. Then, Archer makes a troubled face and starts to ponder something.
何よ。何か言いたいことでもあるの？あん
Probably,
た。
probably wondering who he is.
ああ、一つ聞き忘れていた。
Maybe not, but
リン。君は幼い頃からマスターになるべく育てられ、それに従ってきたのだろう。つまり、初めからマスターになることを予想していたわけだ。
correct.
当たり前じゃない。そりゃいきなりマスターに任命される魔術師もいるそうだけど、私は別よ。遠坂の人間にとって聖杯戦争は何代も前からの悲願なんだから。
そうだろう。なら目的が塔にあるはずだ。私はそれを聞き忘れていた。主の望みを知らなければ私も剣を預けられない。
Oh yeah, that actually, what would the wish be?
それで君の願いは何だ？
願い？そんなの別にないけど。
Wow.
何？
Just fighting in the war just for the sake of her family's past, I guess. Oh, Archer's making a funny face.
そんなはずはあるまい。聖杯とは願いを叶える万能の杯だ。マスターになるということは聖杯を手に入れるということだというのに、叶える願いがないとはどういうことだ？
Archer is asking with a serious expression. Oh, I see. The master's wish after obtaining the Holy Grail isn't irrelevant to the servant. But it's strange. Father said that servants have wishes as well. But that is only their wish. I don't think Archer should be concerned because I don't have any wishes.
よし、明確な望みがないのであれば、漠然とした願いはどうだ？例えば、世界を手にするといった風な。
Jeez.
なんで？世界なんてとっくに私のものじゃない。あのね、アーチャー。世界ってのはつまり自分を中心とした価値観でしょ？そんなものは生まれた時から私のものよ。そんな世界を支配しろって言うんなら、私はとっくに世界を支配している。
Interesting. That's an interesting worldview. Archer looks at me with a troubled expression. I'm amazed. The guy really is hard-headed.
バカな。聖杯とは望みを叶える力。現実の世界を手にできる力だぞ。それを求めるというのに、何も望まないというのか、君は。
Yeah, I guess so.
だって世界征服もめんどくさいし、そんな無駄なことを願っても仕方がないでしょ。あなた、割と想像力が貧困ね。
The fact that she actually doesn't have a wish as of now is so interesting.
理解に苦しむな。それでは何のために戦う？
そこに戦いがあるからよ、はーちゃん。ついでにもらえるものはもらっておく。聖杯がなんだかは知らないけど、いずれ欲しいものができたら使えばいいだけでしょ。人間生きていれば欲しいものなんて限りないんだし。
Imagine you're like, dang, I just really want a cup of coffee right now. Holy Grail, can I get a cup of coffee? Meanest cup of coffee ever. And that's her wish.
つまり君は。
ええ。ただ勝つために戦うの、あーちゃん。
That's a very interesting motive. Just fighting to win, because why not? Archer's shoulders slump. Maybe he's disappointed in my opinions, but it seems he's finally relaxed.
まあ言った。確かに君は私のマスターにふさわしい。
Oh, that's good. Ugh. Find it hard to deal with that kind of comment, so I wish he'd stop saying such things.
サーバントにマスターを選ぶ権利はないけど、一応聞いとく。なんで私があなたのマスターにふさわしいのよ。
言うまでもない。君は間違いなく最強のマスターだ。
Thanks.
使える相手としてこれ以上のものはない。
そう、ありがとう。あなたに言われるなら世辞ってわけじゃなさそうだし。
I'll take it. I look away because I'm embarrassed. Find it hard to deal with Archer because he speaks frankly like this, even though he's so cynical. But well, I'm honestly happy that he trusts me. I trust Archer and he trusts me. I don't think this sense of solidarity is a bad thing.
さて、ならば一息入れようか。7人目のマスターが現れるにせよ、それは今すぐというわけでも。と、ちょっと待て、リン。君、あの飾りはどうした？
That's kind of awkward to answer.
飾りってペンダントのこと？はあ、あれなら忘れてきちゃった。もう何の力もないものだし、別に必要ないでしょ。
それはそうだが、君がそう言うならいいが。
ええ、父さんの形見だけど、別に思い出はあれだけってわけじゃない。
よくはない。そこまで強くあることはないだろう、リン。
So saying, Archer takes out the pendant I left at school. Oh my god.
拾いに行ってくれたんだ、アーチャー。
What a guy.
もう忘れるな。それはリンにしか似合わない。
As if he's embarrassed, Archer looks away as he hands me the pendant.
そう。じゃあ、ありがとう。
I accept it. To be honest, I don't know if I should be embarrassed or cool about it. The pendant is as it was. As expected, there's no magical energy left in it. Empty of magical energy, it's just an expensive but ordinary jewel, and it doesn't hold any power. But, as Archer would put it, even if there's no power left in this pendant, it still has meaning as something my father specifically left for me. Then, maybe I can just laugh off the fact that I helped that guy by sacrificing my trump card. Yeah. Something clicks in my head. I wasn't thinking straight back then because of my regret, but thinking about it calmly, I missed something. He saw us, so it'll be dangerous unless we adjust his memory. Basically, Lancer prioritized eliminating the witness over his battle with us. Lancer's thinking probably matches his master's, So, if such a master finds out the guy they killed didn't die, what would he do? Just kill him again?
そんなやつ、生かしておかない。
I get up from my sofa. It's been 3 hours since then. I might not make it, but after all I did, I have to make it on time. Yeah, it'd be kind of pointless if you used your trump card and then he died anyways. I run through the night. Fortunately, I know where his house is. No, I didn't look it up, but it just happens that an acquaintance of mine goes there a lot, though I've never been there myself.
まったく、余計な苦労を背負おうとしているぞ。
Archer has no interest in cooperating. He was against saving the guy when he was dying, and he's against me going to help him right now. Yeah, that's fair. It's midnight. Under the cloudy night sky, we reach the Japanese-styled house. There's no sight of anyone in this house on the edge of the residential district. There aren't many houses around it, and there's no one to come and help if something happens here. My breath is white. A wind starts to pick up. It must be quite strong as the clouds start to drift fast. The supposedly warm wind of Fuyuki sends chills down my spine, making me tremble. Even if Fuyuki City is considered warm, it's still cold on the hill. The air around here is frozen. I strain my ears in the cold atmosphere. In the frozen feeling, I feel a small sense of an enemy.
いる。さっきのサーバント。
Yeah, so you're too late. I bite my lip. His presence is perceptible on the other side of this wall. Lancer is in the house already and about to kill the same guy again, but has just come home without a clue as to what happened.
飛び越えて倒すしかない。その後のことはその時に考える。
How are you gonna beat him? Just as I'm about to command Archer to go in. You just get like... What the heck was that? A bright white light, like a fallen sun, comes from within the house. The presence is eclipsed by another presence. The wave of power of the Servant Lancer is consumed by an even larger wave. Oh. The instantaneous explosion of ether gives the spiritual being a body, summoned to overpower Lancer.
嘘。
I can only mutter, but it's true. To prove it, Lancer jumps over the wall and leaps away as if fleeing from this place.
ねえ、アーチャー。これも、もしもの話？
Was there another servant?
さあな。だが、これで7人。
Or were they just summoned?
ついに数が揃ったぞ、リム。
Archer answers calmly. I've lost my normal judgment. That's why I didn't even consider the obvious event that would follow. The wind blows strongly. Clouds cover the sky like an umbrella. The unlit suburbs are enclosed by darkness. And the servant jumps over the wall, coming down like a demonic bird. Archer has reacted already, but I couldn't react. That was my mistake. The battle ended with that small opening, not lasting even a second. Oh, is she dead? It might have only been a second for me, but for that servant, it was an opening that couldn't be ignored. A sword rushes for me. Oh. Archer pushes me aside and the servant slashes him. It happens in an instant. Archer, who handled Lancer's fury of attacks beautifully, has been taken down with one blow. Oh my god! But I make it in time this time. Just as the enemy servant is about to cut off Archer's head with her blade, I forcibly remove him. Oh. A pain in my right hand. It must have been an excessive command, so a command spell has disappeared from my hand. Now there's only one remaining, but this is for the best. Rather than having Archer die, I would prefer to lose 1 or 2 command spells. Hey, but now you're about to die. Giving no consideration to Archer's disappearance, the servant attacks me. I take from my pocket a topaz with a wind spell in it. Then I launch all the magical energy it contains at her without processing it. But this is totally just Saber, right? So she just deflects it. She just eats that. This thing, which can blow away a house without a trace, is a bundle of wind spells I've stocked up over time. It's one of the 10 jewels I've been putting my magical energy into for 17 years without rest. I'm using all the magical energy stored in it, so even if I can't defeat her, it should at least slow her down a bit. No. It's Saber, so she just tanks that. No, not even that. It did nothing. The swirl of wind that instantly tears apart anything caught within it disappears like a magic trick the instant it touches the servant. Yeah, this is Saber. Such strong magic resistance. Mere magical energy from a magus cannot hurt this servant. So this is it. She can't be hurt by magic, and I've lost the protection of Archer, so I can't stop this servant. I barely managed to avoid one blow, but that's all. I look up at the night sky. In it is the figure of the cold-hearted death, who is looking down at me as I lay miserably on the ground. Yeah, that's... okay, so that is Saber. She offering a hand? In between the dark clouds and the spiral sky, the moon shines. The falling moonlight in the beautiful face. This is the servant that drove off Lancer, defeated my Archer in one strike, and annulled my magic with no trouble.
今の魔術は見事だった。メイガス。
Oh, thanks? And the girl's voice is like a bell. Yes, this voice is like a nightmare right now. It's only natural. The more beautiful my enemy is, the more of a nightmare it is, as I cannot believe the difference in our strength.
だが最後だ。アーチャーのマスターよ。
Yikes. The only way she survives this is if her master comes out and is like, "Hey yo, she just saved me. No, keep her alive." The point of the sword shines brilliantly. On the verge of death, I understand. With just one look, without proof, this is the card I wanted. The one said to be the strongest of all servants, the hero of the sword. I look up at the moon, accepting my death. There's no time for me to flee or plead for my life. I will die here, and Tosaka Rin's Holy Grail War will end on the third day. There is only disgrace and regret, and I will probably vanish bearing a grudge against my enemy. But still, I don't feel anything. Something must be really wrong with me. Even though I'm going to be killed in an instant, I adore her again. That's right. You ask for regrets, that's it. But I guess it can't be helped. Because she's the most powerful servant. Because her figure is just so heartless, so infinitely valiant, and so beautiful. Jesus, this is loud. Trying to see if I can glean any details out of this, because that's got to be assassin. What the? Is he the dude from the prologue? Wait, is that the... Didn't that dude go to our school? Oh. Okay, well, we're done with the prologue, I guess. I'd assume. Right? Yeah, I think we're just done with the prologue. So what? The whole thing starts with Tosaka just dying? Okay. Yeah, no. Is she just toast already? Wow. Okay, so that was the prologue, it looks like. So it looks like, the game begins with Tosaka just getting murked. Which, I didn't expect. I thought she was going to be like the main character. Looks like she is not. Because, again, unless, like, well, I don't know. Unless the master of Saber walks out and is like, nah, she's cool, right? Like, she's so dead. She's about to die. Like, wow. This game's already gotten crazy. Like, we're 4 hours in. And we already have a major character death. One of the protags is already almost certainly dead. We've been introduced to a lot of stuff, right? I understand what the Holy Grail War is pretty well now, I think. I mean, I just can't believe there's no way she's dead already, right? Like, is this a bluff? I don't know. I mean, I guess I can't really find out until I do the next episode, but wow. I am just in shock, man. That was insane. That was an awesome episode. The fight scenes are great. That twist at the end caught me off guard. Dang. I feel bad if Tosaka's dead. Did she save that dude? And then he went and summoned a freaking servant and then killed her with it? That's tough. That's tough. That is tough. I guess you shouldn't have saved him. Wow. Anyways, guys, this was an awesome episode. The prologue was really good. And I am very much looking forward to continuing on the Fate route. So the Fate route I'll probably get to that tomorrow, because I want to get to it right now, but I can't. I don't want to go too fast. I don't want to be doing like 2 episodes a day or something. I mean, I might record a bit in advance, but I'll probably just record daily. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought about me reading all the monologues. I don't know how I felt about it. My throat kind of hurts now. I mean, it was alright. If you guys liked it, I'll keep doing it. If you guys were neutral on it, I'll probably only do it in the really long stretches, right? And not in... I don't know, in the future, I might not do it in the parts between conversations, right? Or, like, between dialogue. Like, you know, Archer's shoulders slumped, right? Like, I don't know that I have to say that. But some of the long stuff, like describing the Holy Grail War or what's going on, were pretty... I mean, I didn't mind voicing those. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about that. And that is all for this video. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. We will be back to this soon. Peace.